Yeah, what kind of
Oh,
picture?
look at this. It's the Negroes.
The Negroes.
This is how we do before the pod.
We're colored, we're happy,
Oh,
and we're
look.
singing,
And
and
we're
we're colored.
colored.
Dee-dee-dee. Give me a high five.
Boom.
Welcome back to the world's most craziest, most fun podcast ever. Not So Common NSC with my family. What's up, y'all?
Yo,
What's good?
What it do?
Hey, man. Just being a sinner. That's all I'm
Yeah,
doing.
sinner.
Just being a sinner. You know what I'm saying?
That was a dope movie, man.
Yeah, that's about it.
It was. It was. I wish everybody on the screen could have saw it. But
Yeah, you'll see it.
But
You'll
yeah,
see it.
So basically, did y'all like it?
Man, that movie was
How you feel about
amazing, man. I loved it, man. I was actually shocked because before I went to go see the movie, I had no clue what it was about. None at all. But once I kind of watched the movie and gave it some time and paid attention, I'm like, okay, it's very entertaining. It kind of kept me, interested throughout the film.
Yeah. You know what?
Were you confused in the trailer?
No.
I've heard. I'm sorry.
Because the trailer.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
What?
I was just saying, like, I've heard people went to go see it twice. Like how good that movie is.
Yeah, I was actually about to say that. Like honestly, there's so much stuff that because it's a deep movie, so it's so much stuff that I looked at like, you know what, I might have to really go see it again to catch on some of the other stuff that I might have missed out on or didn't really catch. Yeah. I'm actually going to do that. I'm probably going to go see it again. Just to.
I'm not going to lie to y'all. Even though I didn't see the movie, I'm not going to lie. I had to at least see like what's the theory behind it and what's things to look for. I still want to go see the movie, even though I did all that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm ready.
So it's not kind of like what you think. It's not about Robert Johnson's story. It's about these. It's about these people who have gifts, right? Mm-hmm. It's about you ever heard? I think they call Gichi or something like that. Mm-hmm. So in like the African old folklore and Irish, I think they call Gichi. I might be screwing up the.
No, I know the word Gichi from back when we was growing up means somebody with you Gichi messed up. Word.
What is that? What'd you say?
No, the word Gichi back when we was growing up was like somebody that looked it all messed up, like Gichi clothes.
Gichi.
Look all raggedy.
Like country, like
Gichi mother. Yeah.
In the folklore,
but it's
they have these people who are gifted with storytelling, right? Yeah. They keep the history of like the past and stuff like that, and it's in Irish folklore. It's in different folklore, right?
Okay.
So this Michael B. Jordan characters, they go back to Mississippi. They were in World War I, and then they moved to Chicago and worked for Al Capone. Mm-hmm. Well, they ended up hitting a lick, like stealing some money, robbing some money, and they went back to Mississippi with a bunch of money. So they was going to open up a juke joint, right? So they're gonna have a bunch of talented people play.
Spoiler alert!
Well, they
Spoiler alert!
Yeah. So they went. One of the main people they got was their little cousin, right?
Yeah.
His daddy was a preacher. His daddy did not like all the blues music. He was telling him like
right.
Music can
bring
good
the
things
evil,
to it.
Right. It could bring
also can open up, bring evil too. Right. Mm-hmm. But he didn't know he had the gift of that. He didn't know what his gifts were. Yeah. He was just playing.
Right.
But he had a gift to bring back like spirits and stuff.
Okay.
And the vampire could sense that. There was the white vampire that could sense that. Mm-hmm. It's a scene in the movie to where he's playing in the juke joint, and the ancestors are there. The present people are there dancing, and then the future is being shown like the 80s and 90s and stuff.
Okay.
And but they're not noticing it. Like the people in the juke joint aren't noticing what's going on, but the vampire outside can see that, this dude has a gift to conjure up my ancestors. He can conjure up my ancestors if he wants to and bring them back. So that was it wasn't Michael B. Jordan's character that was the main focus. It was that kid who can play the guitar.
Yeah.
The gifts. And that's who he was trying to get. So it you know, being a blues and stuff like that, I see how, you know, you can make that connection with the Robert Johnsons, the story of,
I mean,
you know,
some
selling
of
yourself.
it has to at
Because
least
19...
relate to his storyline a little
That's
bit.
what I was thinking. That's what they was kind of
right.
like.
They do kind of cross lines a little bit. But are you okay with us talking about the movie?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
I'm still gonna go see it. I don't really care.
I said spoiler alert. I already said that.
Okay, cool.
But people, everybody watching the movie or watching the podcast is spoiler alert. So I don't want to hear nobody. Hey, y'all told us. Nope.
There was a scene in the movie that I don't hear many people talk about, but it kind of spoke to me personally a little bit, because at the beginning of the movie, when the vampire dude, he runs to someone's house. He runs to a white couple. It was a white guy and a white woman. They answer the door. He's like kind of burning a little bit, like, you know, I need shelter, so they live him in. And then what kind of caught my eye was the Indian tribe that was searching for him. They went to the people's home, and they were like, have you seen this man? And they're like, no, I have not. And then they're like, okay, even though in the back of their mind, they're like, she lying. But they were just like, well, God bless you, we out. And that scene kind of spoke to me, because it kind of relates to almost like, you have to think about it. Like, they always lied to us and made us believe that slave ships went to Africa to bring slaves back to the U.S. as slaves. That was not true. We were here on this land already.
Yeah.
And I believe, because you always wonder, the so-called Christopher Columbus traveled here, and they communicated, they were in connection with the Indians. They messed with the Indians to a certain point, and then them Indians was like, nah, fuck that, like, we not doing this. And they went somewhere because they could not mess with them. They were the ones that tried to warn us. They captured the ones that were here already. And I think that was like almost like a symbol to me of them, like, hey, these people are here. They're no one that you need to be involved with. And they tried to warn us. It was almost like a warning, because they didn't enslave them the way they enslaved us. They fought back. They were willing to die before they bowed down to them. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm gonna bring it back to the Kanye. He said slavery was a choice. Everybody bashed the man, but he was so correct, because slavery. I
remember him saying that
slavery was a choice, because you had a choice, like, am I gonna do this, or I'm gonna fight for what I believe is right? You know what I mean? These people they were like, you know what? We are fearful for our lives, our children's lives. We just want to just live. You chose that. You had options, even though it wasn't your, favorite options. But like I said, the Indians would have fought to death for their people. They wasn't playing that. And those people knew that, so they went to the next best option.
I would say indigenous people, because Christopher Columbus, that was a mistake he made. His dumbass thought he was in India, and people there, they're Indians. Indigenous people, the Indians are from India. This dude thought he was in India and was like, these Indians.
Right. So
for some reason, it becomes a term now for thousands of years later. People are still saying it. It's like, no. People are.
But do you understand what I'm trying to say, though, Mo?
Yeah. It was the warning. It was the symbol of that. Now, one thing that you catch too, when the lady, she came in there, and that's the thing. The thing is, how they gave dude Michael Bush Jordan's character the drop. Remember that part?
Yeah.
What? But if you catch in the beginning, you remember when the lady went in there and dude already done chewed up her husband. And what did he say? He said, I already know what y'all gonna do. I got his memories. Or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that originally. And then at the end, it was like, so he already knew what they were going to do in the first place when they sold the twins that place they was having a juke joint at.
Yeah.
You remember that? You remember that part, Mo?
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah. So
because the person who sold him that was part of the clan, and they were part of the clan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why in that movie he
Exactly.
talked about the point where he told Michael B. Jordan that they coming here in the morning.
Right, and then in the beginning, when like I said, when she done chewed her husband up, he was like, "Oh, I already know what y'all gonna do. I got his memories." That's what it was.
Yeah.
That was deep.
Yeah,
that was deep.
Yeah.
You know,
that was really,
yeah. So it's like
but,
you know, so it's almost what's the word? What's the word I can use for that? Because it was kind of like, even though he was looked at as the villain or the enemy, he still gave them the warning, a drop of what was going to happen. He was like, "Yo, they about to come take y'all out." So it's like, what is what does that mean for them to do that, even though they were basically there trying to get the kid or trying to kill everybody or to get to the kid, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that part was kind of crazy.
Because, like he was like he was the villain, of course, but he wasn't his intentions were his intentions were to bring his family back or and really bring people. He was trying to bring everybody together, but he didn't know he was doing it up in a messed up way.
He was like the anti-hero. He was like the anti-hero.
Yeah, he was like the Thanos. You know the Thanos? Yeah. He was the villain, but he was trying to save the world by
everybody. He was an anti-hero.
Villains are heroes. Like, I love villains so much because if you really pay attention to their story, like, it's always like through like hurt and pain, and they're just trying to make sense of it all. Like, even like the Joker movie, like, this man became who he was through the pain that he experienced through life. He's like, we're not supposed to experience this type of pain. Like, you know what I mean? That's not life. And I mean, it's a deep movie, man. Like, I would definitely watch it again. And I don't understand why so many religious people are saying, "Don't watch this movie. It's a demonic movie."
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's so many. Why didn't they do that with Blade? That's a vampire movie.
You know what I can't stand? I'm sorry to cut you off. I can't stand when black people say that Black Panther was the original, the very first black superhero movie that came out. It was not.
Was it Spawn?
No.
Sorry.
It was
I had to put that out there.
Who was it?
It was Spawn.
I thought it was Blade.
Spawn was the first Marvel movie. No, it was Spawn.
Yeah,
Spawn bomb though.
It wasn't even Spawn.
Spawn was
I could have
so
sworn.
bad. You see them CGIs?
Y'all missing one.
Don't say Meteor Man. Don't say that.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't say get out of here,
Meteor
man.
Man?
Get out of here, Meteor
Man. Well, when it comes to Marvel, Spawn was the first one out, but Spawn bombed so bad because Spawn had bombed. So what happened? Spawn had bombed. So basically, Blade rescued Marvel. Period. Marvel Universe. There wouldn't be no Marvel Universe without Blade. But Spawn was one of the first Marvel movies that came out with that. But they did so bad, they almost kind of shelved it to where nobody. Right. But Blade saved Marvel. Like, it wouldn't be no Marvel, no, it wouldn't be no Black Panther. It'd be none of that Marvel stuff without Blade. Like, facts.
Yeah, Blade.
Definitely got to give him his due for that.
I got to think. What do y'all think about the barn scene where he was playing, and then you had the past, present, and future all dancing together?
Well, it was a lot of symbolism behind it.
I thought that was
now what I would that's kind of one of the things I wanted to look back at, because that's the thing. It's so deep. It's so many stuff that's similar. Even the villain himself, they represent something. So, you got the character, of course, but they represent something. So now it's a matter of figuring out what did that dude represent? He represented something, even though in character he was the villain, the vampire, the head dude or whatever. What did he represent? Because it represented something. You know what I'm saying? So ideally, you want to look at it and be like, okay, even though he was who he was, what did he represent? Because it's almost like you have your characters, but each character represents something. You know what I'm saying? Almost like the Bible, because the Bible is full of parables. It's like they have characters, but these characters represent something. They're not real people. They're parables. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a matter of decoding that and figuring out what did that represent? What did that mean? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, you know, I think that's why a lot of people, not a lot, but you got some with mixed feelings because they didn't understand it. It's like, okay, this ain't scary. This look like something else. This is whack. But you know, you got people like me that I look beyond it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I want to be entertained, but I actually like looking into stuff like that too, figuring out system.
Right, it's a message and everything. All that has a message.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What about the whole Caucasian girl with soul? That was a representation. The white girl with that I think was it
She said, oh well, according to her character, she was mixed.
Right. But it was a purpose for that. Why were the vampires Caucasian? Why was she Caucasian? Why was that a part in the movie? Like, what symbolized those characters? Like, what were they symbolizing? You know what I mean? Like, why were the vampires white? You could have used black vampires.
Yeah, and they could have. I think them being white, it could have went with any sort of different group with that story that he told about the storytelling people. We have that in every culture. So I think that really could have been played by anybody. I think he just chose to make him Irish, and which is a good way to go. I really think.
Well, too, and you think about too, they had the Asian people in there too with the market and all that. So it was kind of like they represented something too. You know what I mean? So it was.
She was the reason he went in. She yelled like, "Come on in there,
motherfucker!" But back to that dance scene though, it's a representation of how things from our past shape our present, and right now it's shaping the future. You know, and they had everything. It's all here in one time. Past, present, and future.
Is playing at the same exact time. Absolutely. But I will say is like my connection to why it was music, why he wanted music so bad, was because the vibrations of music kind of shapes the frequencies. You know what I mean? And it kind of controls, it draws you in kind of over like a hypnosis type of effect. You know what I mean? It can control your emotions, your all types of moods, and it kind of makes you under the spell kind of sort. And I think that's a symbolizer of the music as well. And they say that Satan is the ruler of music, right?
They do say that.
Well, yeah, and plus that's how the stories were told back then with song and dance. The people who told the stories and stuff, told it through song. And it's just it shows how we're all connected. We're every culture, every race. We come from the same thing, and we all have similar things. And I think that's what it was showing as well. Man. It's like we all have it may sound different, but it's all coming from the same place.
But and it shows so many things. Like even if it's not like related to what you're thinking about, because I even see because they showed two successful Black individuals in that time period with money, kind of clean cut. They like their own bosses. Like what? Remember when he rolled up in the cotton field, right, to the big boy, and then he was talking about this my wife. He's like, man, fuck your wife. Like, man, he's gonna get this money. You know what I'm talking about? Right? He was like, man, let's get this money. He's just like, it was like so much of a cocky, confident attitude that I believe we should have as Black people. Like that was just like, man, we do our own thing. We don't need nobody else. We get this. We make this money. It almost gave me like a Black Wall Street type of moment when they opened up that juke joint and just started handling business, like helping his people out. They was going one by one to their people. Like, hey, we need your help with this. We need your help. We're gonna make this money. We're gonna make this money for everybody. I just kind of got that idea too, like almost a sense of let's get this. We have the ability. We don't need nobody else but that. We have it.
Another point too. I just thought about. There was no racism within the vampires. No. They was all Black, white, Asian. They were together. That was the only time you seen all the races unified when they were all vampires.
Right.
Wow, bro.
Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
He was getting it outside that.
Because of course, around that time, during the time frame of the movie, it was all types of racism, all types of stuff. But the vampires weren't racist. They were all together. Black, white, Asian. Everybody was together. That was crazy.
Unified.
Absolutely.
But even though they did not show any type of racism, I do believe the races of people matter. Because like I said, like the Native Americans, what was the reason? Why did you have Native Americans? It could have been like a sheriff coming by looking for this man or something. But yet you out of nowhere included these Native Americans from a specific tribes, kind of searching, knocking on the door, looking for this man. What was that for? Like, what did that tie to? You get what I'm saying? Like, why did you have that? Why did you have the Asians in there with the African Americans and the Caucasians is playing that part? And
well, that's Mississippi history though. The Asians and stuff like that. That's his history.
I have never seen an Asian in Mississippi personally.
You also never lived in 1932.
Right. But what, they just left out of nowhere?
What I mean by that is, when they came over here and they worked on the railroads, you heard the Chinese railroad, they built the railroad. A lot of them worked on the railroads. They came over for that when the immigration. Well, white people didn't care about them either. Black people can understand the struggle. So what they would do is, and I don't know if they said this in a movie or not. I want to say they did. Where am I getting this from? They would have to cater to both sides. You know how they had whites shopping on one side, black shopping on the other. Well, whoever had the better relationship to the white people will go over there, talk white, whatever it is. Whoever had the better relationship for the black people will go over there and talk the black slang. They were trying to survive in the middle too.
I am not educated on the Asian community within the slavery day. I am not educated. I didn't even know.
This is Jim Crow. This is the Jim Crow time. This is after slavery.
I'm just talking about.
Exactly.
I was just thinking about like the time when he walked up on the big boy and they were like picking cotton. So it just kind of gave me that feel. But I understand.
Well, I mean, there was still people working on plantations, but they were getting paid. It wasn't slavery.
Right.
So out there, you still have. If you look at it, they ended slavery. You still had plantations, huh?
Yeah, you're right.
So people they had a choice to work on the plantations. Yeah. So a lot of them, they just stayed, but they was getting paid as opposed to being enslaved.
Yeah, at that time, I can't even lie. I'm not even that, up to date on that. But I will say is like, you have to think about also like during those times, because the dude that, like you said, that leased or rented them that place to have the juke joint. He was a part of the KKK, and they were ready to tear them up the next morning. But you have to remember, like, when they turned the Caucasian guy away, the Caucasian vampire, when they first was like, "Hey, I just want to play something," and they turned them away. You have to understand that could have been red flags for them to go back to their people, come and tear that whole place up, like. During that time, you can't just turn them away like that after, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not looking to see those type of people laughing and having a good time. They'll be like, "Yo, we're burning this place down." So it was a whole bunch of.
You talking about the vampires?
Yeah, I'm just talking about them. Like, when the twins was like, "Nah, y'all can't come in." During that time period, rejecting a Caucasian person, what?
Yeah, but that goes to show you that the vampires, even though he's white, he didn't care about race at all.
Right.
He had
that could have been a possibility.
But you wouldn't see that anyway. You wouldn't see them nowhere near the black people anyway. You know what I'm saying? They ain't coming with three people. If they're coming there, they coming there with the whole clan, the whole town.
Yeah.
And they coming to shut you down. They ain't want to join nothing. They coming to shut that down.
Yeah.
One of y'all brought up Mary, right? Who did somebody say something about Mary?
Mary.
The white, the
Caucasian. That was her name. I didn't know her name. Yeah.
So that's another symbolism of she had black in her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her her daddy.
Yeah.
Her daddy was half and half, whatever.
He had some
but,
in there.
Yeah, but that goes show you how, you know, when you that color, a lot of people was like that. They were mixed, but they didn't want to be in with the white race. They want to be accepted by black people, but society saw him as white, so they had to pass as white to make it in life.
Yeah,
she said her husband was white. You know, I'm pretty sure the husband.
Yeah, because he was like, "Yo, I'll let you be with somebody on your level, basically." Like, because you remember
I'm pretty sure the husband don't know this.
When the Caucasian vampire, he was like, "Why is she in there then?" You remember that? Like when he asked, she was like, "Well, I got whatever in me. Like that's why I get the
family. I'm family."
All right. Yeah,
I can't wait to see that movie, yo.
I'm telling you, it's good, bro. I want to watch it again.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's on bootleg. I'm watching it again.
You said not on bootleg.
No, I said I can't wait till it come on bootleg.
Oh, you stupid. I was hoping it was gonna get on Prime at least.
I know, right. That's what I've been looking for too.
Another thing too is how the black veterans were treated when they came back from World War I. How messed up. That's what it's similar. Like those Stack and Smoke was vets. You know what I'm saying? They fought in World War I and still had to come back and be treated just like he ain't nothing. And that's how a lot of them were back then.
Still a Negro.
You heard of the story of Isaac Woodard.
You're still a Negro.
Honestly, it's still kind of like that. You know, get out the military. It's still
you heard the story of Isaac Woodard, right? You heard the story of Isaac Woodard, right?
No.
Isaac Woodard was a World War I vet who came back, you know, from the military, right? From World War I. So he's going home, military uniform and everything. He's on a bus. Now he's traveling north to south now. So, you know, he has to go to the bathroom. The bus driver comes to a stop. He tried to get off to go to the bathroom. The bus driver was like, "You better not get off this bus, or you ain't getting back on." He was cussed the man out, whatever. Went to go pee. He gets back to the bus. Police waiting on him. Police takes him, put him in handcuffs, takes him behind the building, and beats him blind.
Oh dang!
Beat him that bad to where he was blind.
And this is a true story. True story.
Just a true story. And they ended up charging him for a federal crime because he got blood on a building or something like that.
What?
And they charged him for that. Yes. You think anybody went to jail over that? No. Cops had every right to do it.
Bro, because the justice system was created after slavery. The justice system was created after slavery. There wasn't no jails, none of that created. After slavery, that's when they started creating jails, prisons, and laws like that.
But that's how. I mean, that's just one story of the messed up. And he was in full military uniform.
Yeah.
Honestly, even like after slavery, they started making laws and jails and stuff, like right. But me, this is my own personal opinion. Like honestly, them jails was still trying to be slavery. They still was just mainly just arresting us.
Yeah, another system, another version.
That's it.
I mean, even today, if you know anybody that went to prison, they'll tell you now, like what it's like being in there. They're like, yo, first you work in slave, you're enslaved, you're their slave, they own you. So
rights in prison,
getting paid change.
Yeah,
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. But it showed like, what did you? How did you feel about what's her name? His girl, his baby mother who the baby died.
Oh, the witch. The witch.
Oh.
Yeah, how do you feel about
her?
She
wasn't no witch.
She was interesting. I really didn't pay attention to her much personally, but I do know she played a big role in there. But yeah, I really didn't.
Well, she knew that she knew what was going to happen to her.
Yeah.
That's why before it did happen, she already told them what to do. But I think at that part when he went to her spot and they were talking and stuff like that, she started to see. I guess she did a little whatever and started to see what she said that was going to happen. So that's why she went with the guy and everything like that, because she seen that all that was going to happen. But I think the way it's set up is, even though you see the future, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't interfere with it. You can only be a part of whatever's about to transpire. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So she seen what was going to happen, and wasn't nothing she can do about it, but only just be there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But she could have fight it.
And luckily she was there when luckily she was standing at that door when old boy came back, because she's like, what you need to be invited in for? Like, she controlled
but that's what I'm saying. She knew what was going on. That's why she pointed stuff out, but she couldn't do nothing about it. That's why the only thing she could do is just be there.
Right.
But yeah, she knew. She knew. That's why she was questioning him, and then by his responses, she was like, she looked over and was like, nah, something wrong. And then he was like, yeah, ain't nothing adding up. Yeah, it was crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, because you're gonna like that movie, man. Yeah, I'm gonna see it again. I actually interested in seeing that again.
To be honest with you,
I'm gonna see it again too.
I was so exhausted earlier. We had we was going around getting everything this morning. We had to do a bunch of running around this morning for the business and everything. And I was like, yo, let's stop and get something to eat real quick. So we stopped at, kind of like it's like a barbecue place. You can kind of like grill your own stuff in the middle of the table and all that stuff. And I was like,
Korean barbecue?
Yeah, something like that. But I was sitting at the table and I just put my head down like this and I started fading over right there at the restaurant. I don't hear anything. If she ain't talk, I'd have been gone right there at the table. So I seen how long that movie was.
Did you get some sleep?
It was like 2 hours and 18 minutes. I was like, yo, how the way these prices is for tickets and food, I am not about to spend $100 just for myself and $100 for her. How the way the prices is, and fall asleep in the middle of watching the movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, that's the reason why most people wait till it come out on Prime, because the movie theaters be tripping.
You know what? It didn't really seem like it was 2 hours. I didn't. It didn't really seem like. It didn't even feel like 2 hours when I watched it. It didn't really feel like 2 hours, but it was.
That's what a lot of people said. It didn't feel like
I ain't gonna lie. I had to pee.
Because it was interesting.
Yeah, it keeps you entertained.
Before the vampire
it keeps you entertained throughout. Like you be.
Yeah, there's really no real dull times in the movie. It's like a lot of stuff is going on, and it's almost like you're there trying to put the pieces together. There's so much stuff going on at once. And it's like, dang, what does that mean? What does this mean? Why would they do that? Or why this person did that? So it's a bunch of stuff that kind of keeps your mind, intrigued by everything. That's what
it was one part. It was one part in the movie that somebody asked. I seen online, and that was kind of made me kind of question. It was that scene. You remember when he was with the chick Mary, right? What was it, Stacks or somebody, whichever. Yeah, he was with the chick. And he spit in his mouth. Like, she had that love. They was like, was that real? Like, that didn't look like CGI. But I'm kind of wondering, was that real?
What was it again?
I'd have did it.
Like, she was on top of him, and I guess she was drooling, and he was like, yeah, baby, let me get some of that. And she kind of spit like this long spit in his mouth. And he like kind of it is like,
oh my God!
Only you would point something out like that. Only you would point something out like that.
It's some freaky stuff in the movie. Like, hey, y'all remember the part when she was like, "Let me wash up first."
What'd you say?
Yeah, and put all that.
You remember the part when she was like, the little Sammy had her in the room, and she was like, "I ain't washed up yet. Let me wash up." I walked in.
He's like.
He was like,
nah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, nah. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Nah, brother.
Pooky, I think Pooky had brought up this, or maybe Boo. I don't know who brought it up, but the part I want to discuss is the beginning when the preacher was talking to the son, and he was pretty much telling how, the music, the bad music versus, it can bring in spirits and stuff. So, I mean, I think when they had brought up religion and spirits or whatever, or music, and what do y'all feel about the church always talking about like this music is bad, or or like we play music too, right? Church play music. Sure. Is it the conjure of spirit?
Yeah.
Isn't it the conjure of spirits to get the spirit and dance and all that?
Like I said,
that's a good question.
Music shapes vibration.
That's
the whole frequency, and that's what it is. Like the church preaches about Jesus and God and all that to kind of enhance that frequency towards that, that area, that field. And when you kind of go off of that, like every music, no matter what it is, I don't care if it's Beethoven, Jay-Z, Biggie, cowboy music, rock and roll, you name it, it all has a certain frequency that it kind of holds. It shapes everything. Everything is a frequency. Everything is atoms that form for you to see that shapes your reality. Like everything. That's why they say be careful what you listen to. And that's basically what it was tying to. Like, be careful what you're playing. Because that brings certain frequency to you. Like there is no such thing as good
and make you become something different or something like that.
Right. You know what I mean? There's no
like for example, no, I was about to say, like, for example, in religions, Christianity, they say it conjures up demons, evil spirits inside of you. In other countries in their religion, they say it's something else. You know what I mean? It's pretty much all the same. They all describe it just like how the way you say it. They just call it different.
That's what I said. It's all a game. It's all a game. Yeah. That's all it is. And like I said, like vibrations that's basically what it is. Everything is made of atoms. You know what I mean? Atoms kind of shape everything. There's nothing that's solid in front of you. You're not solid. Your computer's not solid. This desk, everything, there's nothing solid. It's just atoms tightly formed together. And like I said, those atoms take form of vibration. That's why water, when you play certain music and water kind of shapes, it shapes because of the atoms that's forming. And it shows you because it's in liquid form. And that's the same thing in a solid form with us. You're seeing vibrations. You're seeing the frequencies. That's why you can feel energies. When you see somebody, like, you don't even have to speak to them. Okay, that person's in a bad mood. I feel it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you could be like, all right, I ain't gonna mess with this person. Or if like you randomly don't like a person, like you be like, I just don't feel their vibe. That's a frequency that you're picking up on. Not realizing, you just don't know why, but it's literally, that's what you see. You're seeing what you literally shape. That's why they say that, you're the main character of your movie. Like everything that you go through in life is you. Like people be like, why am I going through all that? Like you're literally shaping that. Like there's no such thing as like a millionaire, a poor person, everything is like literally possible. Like there is nothing that's impossible. You literally have to change the frequency of what you're seeing. You know what I mean? And shape that. Like that's all everything is. And music is a part of that shaping, that force that we see. That's why every time like we go through these podcasts, I always bring up, why are we living the same life and we're in two separate areas in the country? Because that's the frequency in which they give us. It's a channel. That's why someone in New York is living the same life as someone in Texas. Like we could be like, yo, you say Friday, yeah, soul food, best man, and you can go down the line of black movies. Oh, they're gonna see it. They've seen it, And like I said, Thanksgiving, I can tell you what you're gonna have on your table. Why is that? And it's so different from a Caucasian family. I can't tell you what's going to be on their table. But it's all
kind of the same cultures too. Do that too, though.
But
it
that's
ain't
what I'm
just
saying.
Only black people.
It's right. It's not. I only can speak on us because I'm a part of that. But all cultures have their special thing because Caucasian gonna have they raisins and they mac salad or whatever they put it in. I don't know, but still, but it's a frequency of why people even on a bigger level, on a larger scale, holidays. These people know what we're going to be doing around December. They know what we're going to be doing around November. They know what we're going to be doing around October. It's set up every year almost to have us going crazy. Black Friday, you know where everybody going to be at. Because it's a program. Everything is vibrations, and they're controlling those atoms of what we see in our reality. You know, everything that's going through in your daily lives is not right. Everybody in today's world know something doesn't feel right, but you're going with it anyways.
You're 100% correct.
Right. You know what I mean?
You are.
Like, you know this ain't right, but yet they are controlling the narrative by controlling your reality by you shaping. They're giving you basically ingredients, and you're just going with it to give this reality of yourself for their control. They mastered this. They know about the ancient times of where we originated from, and they know how to control it. You know, they mastered that. Those elites, they know what to do. They know how to control us like sheep. Like those sheep can tear the sheep leader up if they wanted to and just stomp on him and go about their business. But yet they allow him to lead them. The same way we are. Frequency. That's why I said we have the same lives. Like if you're black, and I'm talking about like not like the ones from the suburbs, like a real like,
black person from the hood.
Yeah, per se.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
You know that what how their lives were. You ain't had no father in a home. You're raised by a single parent. Same as like any athlete that's drafted that's African American. Same story. Oh, I was raised by a single parent with 6 other siblings, and we had to play barefoot on glass, and it's always the worst story.
Yeah.
You know what?
But you're not black.
Speaking of that, now, y'all think about it with the draft that just happened with Dion, right? Now, if you notice, he's their father. So when the father's in the life, it seems like they get demonized.
Yeah.
If the father's in the forefront, like, hey, you know, this is my son, he's a good player, and this and that, he gets demonized. But you got somebody that doesn't come from that same background,
exactly. They can't
and you know they broke, and this is their only shot to get their family out the hood and all this and that. And then you got the father that was actually there, and they're demonizing the father, punishing the kids. Like, you know, y'all got a father there. So
you remember Lamar Ball?
Mm-hmm.
That's somebody else they did it to.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Lamar Ball.
Yeah, he's a black father that was in his son's life, and my thing is, like, that's a great example of what it's supposed to be like. But he's demonized and criticized in the media because of it, and it's like that's how it's supposed to be. So why is a father being there and getting his sons to where they are? Why is that a problem? Or why is that you know demonized in the media? Like you know, it's just like that's how it's supposed to be. You know, that I never understood that, but
I agree.
But I know that I know that's part of the program to kind of dismiss people like that because not every you know, all the fathers aren't bad, you know, but that's always been the narrative. You know what I mean? And I don't agree with that at all. You know, there are some scumbags out there, don't get me wrong, but you know, you have to account for the people too. You know, the people that the men that are in their children's lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, what you gonna say?
No. I was gonna just mention about the Eli Manning, Manning and Peyton Manning, father.
Archie.
They didn't blow it up like that, you know.
No,
like
they didn't. Even
I'm sorry.
Like even like all of the African American athletes, like the Ray Rices and you know things like that, like how they blow everything up. Not saying that you know it should not have been punished the way it has, but I'm just saying like when you look at who was it Green Bay guy, quarterback of Green Bay, old school Green.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
Yeah.
When he stole from like Social Security or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
welfare fraud.
Yeah, welfare fraud. Oh, that was pushed under the rug. Oh, that wasn't that big. Most people didn't even hear about that.
Yep. Exactly.
But yeah, you got somebody that's putting his hands on his woman, like woman. But you know, they gave that man almost a chair. But Brett Favre, they like, It's only welfare.
It's all right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you see the difference.
I got something on that, and my point of view is a little, not the most popular view, because I try to go with the facts of everything I won't say facts, alleged facts on everything, especially with the Sanders situation. Think about the Sanders situation is the personal accountability of it all. You alleged, and I'm saying alleged, even though we all seen texts and tweets and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He was telling them what teams he wasn't going to play for, right? He was he was unprepared to go for the meeting when it comes. Especially, I'm a Giants fan.
No.
He screwed that whole meeting.
No, I agree. I agree on that part. I was just talking about the narrative of the father, but how they handle that, I don't agree with, because at the end of the day, you got to be professional. It doesn't matter who you are, who your father is. You're a man. You're representing yourself. Yeah. So you have to be professional, because they don't care who you are, who your father is. At the end of the day, it's still certain things that they look for. Now, I think that I might not agree with that angle. Now, I wouldn't say don't be confident. I wouldn't say that at all. But it's almost like it's still how you conduct yourself, how you're confident. You how you conduct yourself, even being confident, it's still kind of could rub teams the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying
that's where it's at. Because everybody who gets drafted is confident. Yeah. Everybody getting drafted is confident.
And even
but you.
No, and even I was saying, even like the draft is it makes sense, but at the same time, you don't know who's going to do what. Because think about it, and I'm a Niners fan. You think about Brock Purdy. He is the last pick in the draft. And he's done more than his entire draft class combined. And nobody seen that coming. So it don't matter where you get drafted at. Tom Brady was drafted in the 5th.
That's what I said, Tom Brady.
So it's like it don't matter when you get drafted. It still matters when you get on that field and you do something. You know what I'm saying? So, it's cool they got drafted, but you still got to show.
They was talking about that, like Deion Sanders going to the Browns and all that stuff, going to the worst team in the NFL. I was like, because me and my wife just got talking about that. I was like, it would be something he'd take the Browns to the Super Bowl and win the whole entire thing.
And he can do it. You never know. You never know, man.
And I'll be
you never know. Yeah, you never know, man. But I mean, the division they're in, I don't see that happening. But
I don't.
I know that's what I'm saying.
You got the Steelers, you got the Ravens, you got the Bengals. Their defense is good though. I like their defense. Browns got some. They got defense. Right now they got Joe Flacco starting right now with the Browns. But I mean, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Every team got their year. This could be their year. You never know. But I don't know, man. They got that boy Lamar out there, man. He looking real rough. And even the Steelers, division teams are always going to be harder. But yeah, I like their defense, but their offense is still kind of iffy.
That's where he comes in.
Say what?
I said that's where he comes in at, I guess.
Well, you never know. He might come in and he might pull a LeBron. He might come right in and know what to do.
Word, that's what I'm saying. It'll be funny if he do all that.
Yeah, I mean he's good. Well, that boy Hunter, I think he's gonna be a problem. He probably gonna be the only player in the first round that's really gonna be a problem.
Really gonna
be a problem.
Make some noise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to see him play. He a beast. He a monster.
Yeah.
But that's what's up though, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I want to go back to when Mookie, you kind of had a soft spot for what I said when I was talking about how like basically. Like current times is different for everybody. You know what I mean? Kind of, it's like it's different. Everything feels abnormal at the moment. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel the same as it used to. Yeah. But what I would say is, from what I've been hearing, this is off topic. I'm sorry, I do this a lot. We are experiencing a reset. You know what I mean?
That's funny that you mentioned that. I said the same thing to my wife.
You said it right. I was saying that earlier, like it just does not feel the same, yo. Like I don't ever want to go out anymore. I remember when I used to love being outside, the sun is shining, just feel good. I just want to stay in the house. It's something different. Like I told you, like we're experiencing a reset. Every, like thousands of years or something like that, we go through this big reset. That's why they're having these power outages. Something is going to take place. That's about to change. They have to reset that. We hit our ceiling. That's why you see, like, in the hieroglyphics of like the Egyptian tombs, like you see like the pictures of like helicopters, like cell phones, like stuff that we have today. You'd be like, why do they have that?
Why do they
like,
have? Why they got pictures of it?
UFOs and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens. That's why they're trying to get, like Bill Gates and stuff. They're trying to get rid of like 90% of the population. Because we're going through a reset now. We're going through a reset with everything kind of
90%. God damn. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's what he's talking about. Like
that's a lot.
Like, trying to wipe out like a
we heard that
portion.
Do you think
trying to get a good portion? And
do you think that's the reason why, like, no, I'm sorry. Do you think that's the reason why a lot of like for example, stuff that's in Egypt, that buried over with sand and all this stuff, that was from the Great Reset from a long time ago and was hidden away from our eye, correct?
Yeah.
And then here go our society, we building up like they did. They built up their society, and that's the reason why you see watches and all that stuff, helicopters.
Exactly.
I remember seeing all that, submarines, all that different type of stuff.
Like,
because that's what they had back then. I think that's just my own personal opinion. That's what they had back then. And then a great reset happened. Everything was buried away, and now it's our turn.
Yeah, and that's happening again. It's taking place again. Like they say, like a lot of conspiracy theorists are talking about 2025 will be the end of this reality. That's what a lot of people are saying. That's what the Bible states. That's what the Quran states, and a lot of other religions kind of point to this period of this reality. You know what I mean? And what does that mean? I have no clue. But
because you can't really say like 2025 is the end. Nobody knows that. No period. Like I've seen some people say 2027 was supposed to be the end because of what happened.
Nobody can pinpoint. But what I can say is what I am noticing, even though so many people cannot stand Trump, this man is looking out for us. He is resetting everything that does not go for us as Black individuals. He is resetting everything.
Where's my MAGA hat?
Boy, put that thing on. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why people are shaming this man. What this man is doing, he is knocking down all the walls that are against us. Like, yeah, he's about to make a change. This man is making a huge change right now. Even though you can't really see it right now, I really think he's making a change.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I actually am with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like he's making a difference. Like he's bringing things, really doing what no president has ever done, at least for us.
Oh yes, he is. He's doing something that no other president has ever done.
I know, but like I said, like people are complaining about prices, but you got to understand when Biden and Kamala was in chair, this is the result. This is what happens. But hey, I'm just saying. Let me stop talking before AJ beat me up.
No. You said before AJ beat me up. That's like me. Like you know what I mean? I love Pooky to death. That's my brother right there. I swear to God, man. We go far back.
No.
That's like political size. Me and Pooky always been kind of against one another when it comes to this man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Old booty lip man.
Yeah.
I can't rock with that man. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna drop a bomb.
Huh?
I say after you talk, I'm gonna drop a bomb. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna ask anybody this question, even the viewers out there. Has a president, or do you think a president will stop you from being successful in whatever you're doing?
No.
Has that ever been a case where someone said I was successful because this dude was the president?
No.
So why should it matter now when you still have your mission, you still on course despite who's president? That's how I look at it. Like I'm so neutral, it's ridiculous. Why? Because I understand that there is not one successful person, not one millionaire or billionaire that said I became this because they were president. They did what they had to do regardless of who was president. And that's where I'm at. I'm about to make this happen. I don't give a damn who's president. That's my whole point. It does not matter. It's still up to you to be successful. It does not matter who's in what position. It's still on you to do what you do. So it's like, okay, you can look at who's president and what they're doing, but you have to ask yourself, is this going to stop me from being successful? And my answer is no. Hell no. I don't care who the hell president. I still got my plan, and I'm going to make it happen. I don't give a damn who president. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's still up to me and the work I put in that's going to determine where I end up, not who's president. You know what I'm saying? So people that's caught up on that, to me, it's like, bro, you getting thrown off on your real purpose and your mission because you're worried about stuff that really don't matter. And my thing is, if you really ask me, what I would say is, who's really in charge? Is this person in charge like you think they are? Or are they people that's running that person that you'll never see? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if I'm gonna be successful, it's gonna be because of what I'm doing and the work I'm putting in, not because of who president. So I'm not gonna be caught up in all them politics like that's really gonna affect what I'm doing, because it's not. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I've been looking at politics lately, because I understand, like, you can't name me one person that said whoever was president made them successful. I highly doubt it. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, I always ask myself that, because I know at the end of the day, it's up to you. It's up to the individual. It ain't up to who's president or who's in charge over here or who's in charge over there. It's still on you at the end of the day. So that's how I always looked at it, because I'm like, you know what? That's not going to stop me. I don't care who's doing what and who's doing what wrong and this and that, because it's still up to me and whether I'm going to be successful or not. I can make it successful.
And that goes to the whole phrase of when black people be like, "Oh man, the white man holding me down," and blah blah blah, holding us back.
I don't believe in that.
That's some
that right there.
Yeah,
I don't believe in that right there. The white man done held you down and made you not get successful. You did that on your own. You can become successful on your own.
Absolutely.
Nobody can hold you down at all.
And I mean, I'm looking at the screen. We're all witnesses to that, man. We can all vouch for that. You know what I'm saying? Because we are doing stuff. We are building our own stuff. And it does not matter who's president. We're still going to continue to do this, correct? Exactly. So it don't even matter. I don't even care about no politics. Why? Because that's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. It's not going to stop shit. Pardon my French.
Yeah.
It ain't going to stop a motherfucking thing. I'm going to continue building what I'm building.
That's why I completely agree with you, boo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But my vision on it is like, you damned if you do, damned if you don't. It don't even make a difference to me who's the president, because either everybody's going to hate him and then everybody's going to love him.
Right.
It doesn't make it really a fucking difference. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
Like I used to make a joke saying, like, whatever president gets into the office, we fucked anyway. You know, I used to say that all the fucking time.
Yeah,
but it just doesn't really fucking matter. You know,
they're all a part of the agenda. All of them know the agenda.
And there's so much truth to that, because I would say the people that are fucked are the ones that are feeding into it. Those are the people that are fucked, because they're, instead of really focusing on what they need to do and building their life or building whatever they're building, they're throwing that all away because they caught up on who's president. And it's like, you're fucked because you're caught up in that. That's a lot of truth to that. So if you're caught up in that, you're fucked anyway. But you know, if you don't understand and realize that shouldn't determine anything, then you stay on course. Don't give a fuck who president for what. How much does that really affect you? You know, it's not going to stop me. You know, I mean, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even vote. Why? Because I understood, like, bro, it don't even matter.
Doesn't even matter.
Like they're gonna put in place who they want to put in place. They'll let the people realize, let them feel like they got saved. They don't.
Yeah, that don't even make sense. Like, why would they give people the power when they're trying to control the people, but give people the power? Yeah, it don't make sense. Like, why would they give us that type of selection? Because they know we're gonna select someone that's in favor of us. Anybody they get in that chair is a part of the agenda.
Yeah, well, the question is,
exactly. They're part of the agenda.
Now you look at the other campaign. Who the hell brings rappers and black celebrities to speak on our behalf?
Exactly.
Like, so I'm gonna vote for this person because Beyonce did a concert at their campaign.
No, it's not even Beyonce. It's Glorilla shaking that thing.
But I'm just saying, I'm just saying because I heard she got 4 million just to go up there and speak for a few millions and a few minutes.
You know what pissed me off the most? You know what really pissed me off the most with a lot of African Americans as black people? They voted for Trump not because of what he's doing, like political ways or anything. They voted for him because they thought they were going to get a stimulus check again. I've heard that so many times, and I look at them like, are you serious? You really voted for him because you thought you was getting a stimulus check again. Like, I was so pissed off when I heard that.
And even then,
either way, it's doomed.
Does the stimulus checks change people's lives? Man, you know, and most of the time people blow that money any damn way. What you getting a few extra $1,000? Like, come on, that money's gonna be gone, and you're gonna be back to talking shit. So it's like, come on, man. Nah.
That's why you choose the president, and I don't know what to tell you. That used to piss me off when I hear people. It wasn't even just us black people. It was other, racists saying the same thing. It's a possibility he can give us another stimulus check if you're voting.
I think it's a mentality. The mentality goes across the board. Whether you white, black, whatever. If you thinking that way, you fall right in line with everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's a mindset, man. There's a lot of people that think that way, and I mean, all I can do is feel sorry for some of them people, man. It's like, you can't hold your life up on who's becoming what. You still control your life.
Let me ask a question. Like, this is kind of like off topic, and it was just something I was thinking about earlier when I was getting ready for the podcast. With our culture, what. Because me personally, I think our era is the best era. I'm not even gonna lie. That's hands down, our era is the best era. But what pissed me off was, our parents didn't really. It's not really piss off. It's just like, I don't know why I was thinking about it. Like, I wish my parents, or why a lot of black parents don't really educate their kids on credit, don't educate them on, trying to start a business or anything like that. Like right now, I teach my son that. I teach my son on how to run a business. Can
I answer that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So my thought is, it wasn't the era for it. We were the ones who start that. They were still. You got to remember, it was a time period. They're still crawling from slavery. You got to remember, like, our grandmother was like a step from slavery.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
They came from her. Our parents came from her. They're not going to know much from them because they only know about working in factories, working on railroad, handwork, physical work.
Yeah.
Now, that's why I was saying, like, a few podcasts ago, men today are not working as much. You remember I said that, Mookie?
Yeah.
Men are more at home because they're using their minds more. Now we're getting to the era of, because we were the best era. We had the best.
We was hands down.
Now we're at the top to get pushed out. Now it's time for the generations under us to come through, and now we're giving them
educating
them. Us, that was our job. Their job has passed. They knew only what they knew. They came from the 80s, 90s. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have that education the way we did. We had that crossroads of both worlds.
Because it's like, what I was thinking about, I was like, if we were taught that at our age, in our era, I can only imagine what we could have did for our.
It was
You
our job.
know what happened? You know what I think about having to think about it. You know where we came from, Rochester, New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was there when we were growing up? What was there? You had Kodak, you had Xerox. They were paying good money, so people were working, making so much money. No one thought about business. No one thought about because you can actually have one person making income enough to handle the whole crib, bills and all. And then you got the moms at home taking care of everything, and they're living in a good neighborhood. Nobody think about business. So now, you know, so now we're growing up, and then all these businesses get taken away. Everything gets taken out, which was done by Bill Clinton. He's part of that.
Yeah,
Democrat. Hang on.
He sent all them jobs overseas. All the factories closed. Now you got,
I said, and what was Bill Clinton?
Yeah, Democrat. We can't. I think both have the same, but they both work together, honestly. But I'm just saying on that part, because even the KKK was started under the Democratic Party. Well, you know, nobody talks about that, but it's true. You know what I'm saying? You can look it up, Google it, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? We're so programmed to go a certain way. It's hard to look at it another way because we're so used to one way or another. But I think that was the case. I think because you know, my dad, you know, our fathers, they were all working for this company. They was making like 70, 80,000, 90,000 a year. So nobody think about business because everybody working, making good money. And then, you know, they did enough to take care of stuff. So now it's like, you know, when all that's gone, they're like, they don't know nothing about business because they're so used to working all these years. You know, they only got the workers' mentality. Yeah. You know, we came in on a different end because now it's kind of coming back to, you know, business now. Now it's like, now we're learning this and now we're like, well, damn, you know, we understand, hey, working is cool, but working ain't it no more. So you building your own, and then now it's like, now you want to put your family on, now you want to put the kids on and everything like that, where is, you know, our parents didn't know that. Our parents, they were making good money what they were doing, so they didn't think about business. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took us to get back to that where stuff ain't making a lot of money, and now we're thinking business is like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And it's a lot better that way because it lasts longer. Because you know, when you're in control and you're running your business, don't nothing stop until you stop. You know what I'm saying? But when you got factories and stuff closing down, they didn't have control of that. Everybody was out of a job. You know what I mean? So, you know, now we're all getting back to that now. Now we're like, yo, we can have our own. Why not? You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take work. You know, don't get me wrong, it's gonna take work, but it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, so that's how I look at it. You know what I mean?
You know,
it's just a mentality thing.
You know, one thing I've noticed that we should have been getting on as Black people, especially here in Rochester, we should have got on some of these properties out here. Rochester, have a lot of, you already know how these houses look, and you can get them cheap, fix them up, rent them out. And now when I'm trying to maneuver that way because my father does that. I'm trying to maneuver that way right along with him. All you see is pending. I'm finding 4 or 5 bedrooms with 2 bathrooms, $84,000. I was like, dang, that's cheap. Rent that out to somebody.
Yeah, nothing like that here. Nothing.
Huh?
Nothing like that here.
Nothing like that here at all.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, Rochester, you can, like, I joke around and say it, but Rochester, we could literally start our own Black Wall Street here in Rochester. You know what I mean? It's a lot of us that's here. And we could have bought
all the YNs out.
Yo, we could have bought so much property, all this stuff here in Rochester. You already know who got it.
But the only problem is the crabs in the barrel mentality. It's hard to get something together because there's so much competition, and that's the downfall. That's the only thing. Because I see what you're talking about. I do see the potential, but there's so many people, like, they're gonna pull you down. It's like that, but I'm not saying it's impossible, but that's the only thing one of the things you have to deal with is people trying to bring you down. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like crabs in a barrel. You know what I mean? And that's unfair because it is a lot of potential there, but it's like,
and it's hard to come across. Like it's hard to come across people that's like that. You know what I'm saying? That won't pull you down, that support you.
Right. And you think about it. Think about this. Think about this. How
like I got
a new now think about this in Rochester. A new club or something open up there. How long do you think it lasts before it gets shot up and gets shut down?
Give it 2 months.
3 months.
You know what I'm saying? And it's so normal. It's so normal there now. It's kind of like, damn, man. And people say the same thing, man. Black people can't have nothing. And it'd be the same old story. It'd be the same old story. And that's unfortunate about that, man, because I think there's a lot of people that are very business minded and can do a lot of things. It's hard to get the support, to really get the support, because everybody's competing. That's the only downside to that. That's the only thing. But I do, there's potential real estate and all that. That's a great thing. That's always going to be a need. People always going to need a place to stay. So you're in that field, you always be good.
Exactly. That's why I'm trying to jump on with Pops. You already know. Pops making a killing. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
That's all he used to do. You remember that growing up? Try to get into that type of shit.
Yeah, man.
Man, I feel like we're gonna be good though. With
No, wait, man. It's already going through, man. Nothing but cakes. Nothing but kicks. No way. Gamer Addicts.
Yeah.
NSC, we doing it, man.
Word.
Yeah, man. But once again, this was a great show, wonderful conversation, and for everybody who's watching, been rocking with us. We appreciate all that from all four of us. We appreciate y'all, man. Just supporting us, keep the views going,
subscribe.
Like, share,
all y'all subscribe.
All love it, man. We appreciate it, man. Hey, thank y'all for kicking it with us. Y'all want to say something?
Oh yeah, Gamer Addicts, GamerAddicts.com. Store coming soon. YouTube channel Gamer Addicts is still under construction. We still got to build more content and all that, but that's on the way as well. We got the family thing going on, man. So we keep building, man. Just support. Appreciate y'all.
Nothing but kicks, bro. I don't know if y'all seen the video I put out, the recording I put out on Instagram and TikTok. But I'm starting to get sneakers up in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing slightly used and new sneakers.
Okay, bet.
So that's coming soon onto the website. I did a video real quick. I put my 72 and 10s. I got those on there. Those gonna be coming soon. All these sneakers. I'm ready.
All right, brother.
Hey, we good then. Hey, another great episode. Thanks for kicking it with us. Peace, fam.
Peace.
Look at me. What about me would make you think that I care about your opinion of me?